This is Recycling Facilities by James Humphrey, Charlie Borchard, Sam Nielsen, John Selleck, and Max Wilson. Recycling facilities aren't efficient enough. The problem with recycling facilities is that they aren't efficient enough. There are a few things we can do to help combat this problem. This includes increasing efficiency of the factories, creating better laws to force people to recycle better, and also creating a surplus of workers in these factories. What is causing these recycling facilities to be so inefficient? There are a few main reasons. One is the fact that too many people are putting non-recyclable things in the recycling bin. This caused the need for an assembly line, which is trash sorted from recyclable items. This also worsened the problems of the already understaffed factories. The first reason also added to the third problem, which is showing that it is a complicated process, and it added yet another step. This image on the whiteboard shows just how many machines and steps are in the process, and every single step needs at least a few workers or people to manufacture the machines. These recycling facilities are absolutely necessary to the survival of the planet. It reduces waste that would normally be sent to landfills or incinerators, and while doing that, it preserves natural materials such as timber, water, and minerals. Recycling also plays a large role in preventing pollution, reducing greenhouse gases, and lessening the need to produce more raw materials, like mining and cutting down trees.
Solution 1, increase in workers. According to IBIS World, there are only 25,000 workers in all recycling plants in the U.S. There are also only a little over 1,000 facilities in the U.S. This averages to about 25 people per facility. Over 6 million people are unemployed in the United States, shown on this graph. From January 2024, there are 6.78 million people unemployed. Facilities can take these people and offer them jobs in sorting trash, managing routes, driving vehicles, and sales representatives. According to the U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics, as recycling continues to grow, more workers will be needed to collect, sort, and process recyclables. This explains how plants can get better and more efficient by adding workers. Still, this solution has some drawbacks and limitations. One is that employees need to be qualified to work. The U.S. Bureau of Labor Statistics states, recycling jobs require a broad range of skill levels, further proving that employees need qualifications to work. If the plants took in unqualified workers to work, it would lead into injuries and damage to machines because of people messing up. It also has implications, though, which are being able to conform, faster processing, better production, and reducing the amount of unemployed people. Overall, this solution is very effective for recycling plants who may need some things to fix.
Solution 2 is to make recycling machines more efficient. How do we do this? One way is to change the design of machines. According to All County Recycling, contaminants like plastic bags can damage recycling machinery by wrapping around machine shafts and axles during sorting. And why is this bad? Hawaii Zero Waste, or the County of Hawaii Department of Environmental Management, further explains, saying contaminants in the recyclables increase the cost of separating them at the processing facility. Manual sorting and clogged machinery slows the process of recyclables. Too many contaminants can render the end product useless, thus wasting resources. And how do we fix this problem? By implementing something called smart bins. Royal Hardin says this about smart bins. Smart bins are equipped with sensors that can detect the type of waste that is being deposited and sort it accordingly. This would help with the flow of the machines and would leave less room for error. This leads to my next point, sorting recyclables. EPA, or the USA Environmental Protection Agency, states that the recycling rate has increased from less than 7% in 1960 to the current rate of 32%. And this may seem like a big jump, but it doesn't take into account the amount of people who don't recycle correctly. And recycling the wrong items is just as bad as not recycling at all, since, like I said, it will slow down the machines and will make it costly. Limitations and implications of making recycling more efficient. So some limitations is that it's difficult to find people to do research, sort recyclables, or create new machine designs. But the implications are, it reduces the amount of plastic waste, there are more natural materials saved, and the costs go down.
Solution 3, raise citizen participation. Citizen participation, put simply, is what an individual does while sorting their recyclables before they are sent to the recycling facility. New expectations on how this should be done would put less strain on the recycling plants themselves. It would take away unnecessary organization steps and, all in all, make recycling a faster process. On our field trip to the Phoenix Recycling Facility in the beginning of the year, I noticed that most employees and machines were dedicated to sorting unnecessary items out of their recyclables. If we take more care in sorting our recyclables and our trash, it would make recycling plants more efficient. Julie Owens from Ohio University confirms this by saying that citizen participation is crucial for recycling efficiency. We can then conclude that if we make citizen participation better, then recycling plants would become more efficient. Implementation. Recycling is managed by the state or city that an individual resides in. So this means that a new state or city law would be needed in order for citizen compliance. There are two major drawbacks to this though. When passing new laws, it takes a lot of research, core time, and some luck to pass laws. This means it could take years before we see any real change in the efficiency of recycling facilities. Further, enforcing these laws could prove to be very difficult because actually observing people recycle every day is not easy and it would not be ethical as well. In conclusion, citizen participation directly correlates to how efficient recycling facilities are. Therefore, enforcing citizen participation makes recycling better and more efficient.
The best solution. We've come to an agreement that solution 3, raising citizen participation, is the best solution. There are a few setbacks to this solution, like the amount of time it will take to implement it. But we firmly believe that this is the most efficient way to increase recycling productivity. By following the third solution, state and country governments will set laws requiring citizens not only to have home recycling, but to sort out any different materials in order to greatly reduce the amount of time, money, and effort that would be put in at the recycling facility. Daniel Edahadia, graduate of Purdue University and author of Cost-Benefit Analysis of Recycling in America, states that in Atlantic County, New Jersey, selling recyclable goods brings in $2.45 million. However, the cost of collecting and sorting these recycled materials, plus interest payments on the recycling facility, cost the county over $3 million. The price of sorting out these materials is already so high and it will continue to skyrocket. So, if we can remove one step by adding new laws, it will greatly increase the efficiency of the recycling. As shown on this graph by ResearchGate.net, the sorting process is very complex and tedious. If we not only encourage but require citizen participation by passing laws, it will greatly help reduce the amount of time, money, and effort put into recycling facilities. The system starts with trucks delivering the recyclable materials to the factory. Then, all the materials are sorted by size. After that, everything is crushed to become smaller and easier to sort. Then, with magnets to identify the metals, everything is separated by material, sending plastics, papers, and metals and non-recyclable materials all their separate ways.
Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to start with you, Sam.
Okay.
Describe an argument from John's paper that makes you think differently about your team's solution.
Yeah, so John's, his scientific lens, I think it provided like an aspect of innovation which we use in solution 2, and like he really went into detail on the like scientific aspects of that.
Okay. John, what is a way in which your team's resolution makes you think differently about your own research?
Well, my own research was mostly like statistics and like why we like how recycling has really helped us. And the team's research like helped me with like showing like why we need to and like how it'll affect us in the future with James' paper and the futuristic lens. And then like Max's paper with the environmental lens helped me to show like that's like affecting the environment, and it's not just the humans that are being affected, but it's like every species on the earth as well. And then Charlie's also helped me to see like how it affects like, the economic standpoint, and like how people are making money or losing money, or like how the government like needs to like budget it.
Okay, James, which one of their papers had the greatest impact on your understanding of the problem that your group identified?
I think Charlie's had the most because we took the lens of how it affects the economy, and also Max's. Because we talked about how it affects the like our nature around us and all the people around in like who recycle and stuff, and how people can be like how they can change how it affects the environment.
Okay. And Max, give one specific way you're thinking changed as a result of learning about Charlie's paper.
So Charlie's paper, he had the economic lens, and it changed the result of my thinking because I was all about the environmental, and I didn't really look into like the money aspect of it. So it just made me kind of think like a little bit different about
Okay. And Charlie, you had 5 team members. If you had another team member, what other perspective could you have looked at that would have contributed to your project?
I think we could have actually done more on what future implications have for recycling, because we mostly focused on how to make them more efficient for now, but we could have talked about how innovations and different research could also affect how recycling plants are done in the future and how it'll affect the environment and economy.